Well, thank you. Thank you so much for folks behind the scenes that are making this happen. And just to introduce myself, my name is Faishala Akintola, and I have the pleasure of managing our Welcome in Pittsburgh initiative. I serve as a special initiatives manager for Mayor William Peduto. And along with my colleagues in Welcome in Pittsburgh, we're doing this series called Hello Neighbor, right? It's an opportunity to really meet incredible people in our region that you might not already know, right? And with the goal of, again, just getting to know, again, incredible people in the community and for hopefully people to become more connected, right? And I am excited to have Ebtehal Badawi here today. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen some of her work already, but we're getting a chance to not only talk about her work, but to actually get to know the woman behind the beautiful paintings that you might have seen. So first, welcome Ebtehal Badawi to this series, Hello Neighbor. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Fea, for inviting me, and I'm so excited to be here.
Likewise, we're happy to have you here too. And just to get started, I'm interested in getting to know you and your family. So tell me about a little bit more about yourself, right? How did you come to be? How did you move to Pittsburgh? How's your family doing? I know COVID, we're slowly coming out of COVID. How was that for you and your family? And I hope, how are you guys doing now?
Thank you for asking. So before Pittsburgh, we used to live in Morgantown, West Virginia. I went to WVU, West Virginia University. I had my master's degree there in industrial hygiene, and my husband also, he studied there, occupational medicine. And then we moved here to Pittsburgh almost 7 years ago. I have two kids. My son, his name is Talal, he's 15, he's going to 10th grade. And my daughter, her name is Layal, she's going to 5th grade. And the rest of my family lives between Saudi Arabia and Egypt.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Wow. Wow, that's I didn't know all those things. So I'm glad I get to hear now. What did you call it? Industrial, what did you study?
Industrial hygiene. It's part
Industrial
of
hygiene.
engineering. Yes, yes.
That is incredible. Okay, so I think this is fascinating because you studied, again, engineering, but you're an artist at Cal. So tell me a little bit of how did artistry come about for you, right? And is it that you made a transition or you're doing both? How did that happen?
How art came to me. So when I was in 5th grade, I took an art workshop, and it is like it opened my eyes and a heart to art. And I know at that moment I want to become an artist when I grow up.
Mm.
And I wrote a note for myself when I was in 6th grade, and I said, and I have that note until now.
Wow.
I said, I finished elementary school. I'm so happy. And when I grow up, I want to go to art school.
Wow. That's incredible. Okay, so sorry, go ahead. Finish. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I grow up, and everyone around me told me art is a hobby. So I changed and switched and went to science. So I have a bachelor in science biology, and I didn't listen to my heart, calling. Yes.
But I'm glad you are now, right? So for those that don't know, so I think how I came to know of you, I think it was a couple of years ago. And to be honest, I guess over time, I don't know, the memory is just slowly fuzzy because I just know I came to find out about a drawing you had did. And hopefully with our friends in the City Channel, maybe they could post it and share it in some way now. But a drawing that you had did, and I don't know if it's over email or if someone connected me or you came to the city, I don't know, but I saw this and I remember having it and I printed it in our office and I posted it in front of my door and I posted it in front of our IKEA conference room. For those that are familiar with the 5th floor in the city county building, and I posted it in the front so that people would just be able to see this really great and unique painting. So you didn't pursue this as a career per se, because I think like you and maybe other immigrants, I could even imagine that as being a Nigerian, my parents saying, "What you want to do? What?" No, no, no. That's not what you're going to do, right? Again, you could do that on the side. You could have that as a hobby, but that's not what you're going to study, right? And I understand why, because they're concerned. They want us to be able to put food on the table, so on and so forth. I get it, but it's amazing how I didn't get to know you. I wasn't introduced to you as an engineer or scientist. I was introduced to you as an artist. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about, even though you didn't pursue that, when did you start painting in Pittsburgh? Um, and yeah, and then maybe talk a little bit about the painting that I'm talking about, right? That you did.
Okay. When did I pursue an art? After I graduate, I finished my master degree. We moved here to Pittsburgh, and I tried, to find part-time job because I have kids, and I didn't. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I really, honestly, I didn't like it. I didn't like industrial hygiene. I didn't like science. Like, I love it, but it's not me. It's not who I am. That's not my passion. And 7 years ago, I start doing self-love journey and
Mm,
learning about who I, what do I want, and I did like different kind of meditation, different kind of self-development
mm,
classes, and during that time, I came back to art. That's who I am. And I start, taking more classes. And then I joined a school called Art Milan Institute. It's an online school and it's
mm,
on. So I joined them online for a year and I learned different techniques in art. And
mm.
at that time also I learned about art therapy program. I didn't when I was younger, that wasn't there. And I thought, oh my God, helping people through art, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to study. And I started looking for different program. I found one at Seton Hills and they told me I need requirements classes in art and in psychology. So I finished all my requirements classes at CCAC and I learned more, more about art, more about myself. And I am in the process of applying to take another master degree in art therapy.
Wow. Wow. I think that is so incredible. I just feel so proud of you. And I'm just coming to know you because you had the courage to just really say, you know what, like, this is actually what I want to do. And you weren't discouraged by the amount of time that it would take again for you to go. It would take going to Art Milan Institute, Seton Hill, CCAC to really develop yourself in this field. And I think you are, what you're saying just really is encouraging. I really hope people are encouraged by your story, that it's not too late. I know that I'm thinking of my parents and my family, and just what really is something I think stands out for me is that when I think about America for myself, it's, coming when we migrated here, something that we hear a lot was America is a land of opportunities, right? And as long as you have breath in your body, you could still develop yourself. You could still go, and I'm glad to see you again. You have children, so it's not like you're not busy. I mean, you have a husband, you have things that you want to take care of, but you're really taking the time to do what's best for you. And I think we're better because of it, right?
Absolutely.
Now we got introduced to building bridges, right? So tell me how that particular work came about. I know there was a story behind it, and I think if you could also talk a little about the impact it's made. I think you told me about a young boy who, when he saw this painting, really encouraged him in school. So talk about building bridges, and what that has meant, the responses you've gotten because of that.
The painting called Pittsburgh Built Bridges. And that painting it's more than just a painting. And it's to me it's a place where everyone can feel that they belong. And the story behind it is in I think it's 2018, December 2018. At that time, my son, he was in the middle school. He played hockey, and he got like one day after practice, he came very intense, and his dad like insists asking him what's wrong, and he told him like he got some racism comments, and they apologized. But I felt as a mom, it hurt, and also like I was thinking also about the other kid, why he's doing this. And at that same time, I saw a video of Assyrian refugees was beaten up in one of the high schools here in Pittsburgh. I don't know her, but I felt as a mom, as a woman, this is awful. The video was so long. How can someone videotape this and don't call for help?
That's right.
So I reached out to a group of moms that I know, and I told them, do you know the mom? I want to call her for support. And I called her, and I asked her, like, how can someone videotape this and don't call for help? She told me there's two girls. One was beating her up and one was videotaped. And I felt so awful that time. And me and the group of mom, we thought of making a poster for anti-bullying and anti-racism for awareness. So I am the artist, so I designed it and I painted it, and I how did the design came? I was working as a teacher assistant in one of the schools here, and I was sitting with a counselor, and I was telling her about the story, and I want to make this, and then I told her I want something that represents Pittsburgh, something that really everyone see and they see Pittsburgh in it. And she went online. She told me bridges. I told her, yes, Pittsburgh builds bridges. And I painted it, I drew it, and then I went to my son's school. At that time he go to Pleasant Hill Middle School. So I went and I show it. His name is Mr. Como, and I show it to him. I told him, "What do you think?" He told me, "This is amazing. We will." I told him, "Can we put this in the school? I believe it will help the student." He told me, "Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Let's get the approval of the superintendent, Jefferson Hills," and we did.
Wow.
And he was the first one who believed in it. He was the first one who really, really believed in it. And I'm so thankful for him and grateful for him. He's an amazing principal. And after we put it, uh, I start, putting it around, different places and different coffee shop, different libraries. And it was, it's not easy to move around and go. And I was tired at that time. I remember I was walking in on, I think Penn Avenue. And then oh God, I was asking, is this the right thing to do? I don't know. Then I got a phone call that really changed the way I look at art. It was my friend. Her name is Mimi. She's from Puerto Rico. She called me and she told me her younger son, have panic attacks because his older brother played football and he was bullied. So one of the panic attacks, he was at the school cafeteria. He saw the poster. He felt he belonged and he got better.
Mm.
At that moment, I know. At that moment, I know how art heals. Like I didn't know that it could really help kids at that age. And then I start, going more, reaching out to more schools. And then I got this new idea that maybe I can tell you later about it.
No. I think I know what you want to say. Go for it. Go for it.
And I got this idea about, bringing kids together and bringing different people together and players from the Penguins, from the Steelers, and from the Pirates all of us joining and painting this as a mural to show, even if we look different, even if we have different belief, even if we cheer for a different sports team, still can Pittsburgh can bring us together. And I thought of these sports team because like my son, he play hockey, my friend son, he played football, other kids I know, they play, baseball. So kids look up to these players. They, when they see them working on a project for building community, it will bring a different perspective to them. It will show them the true meaning of community, the true meaning of teamwork, because each sports team, they work as a team. No one can do it alone, right? They need teamwork and they need this ethics, moral ethics to learn about themselves, about the other, about how to accept other as they are. So I thought of this idea and I am still working on finding that wall.
Well, I'm glad you're saying it and you're putting it out there, and I hope that whomever does watch this and has access to a wall of some sort, if you're a business owner, if you just have connections and you're able to give a wall, I mean, hopefully a wall that people could see publicly, um, please feel free to contact. I know I'm going to ask Ebtehal later on to share her contact, or email so that people could get in touch with her. But that is such a powerful story, Ebtehal, that you shared. And I think just a few years ago, I myself started to realize, wow, like art is a powerful thing, right? And we know art comes in so many different forms. If you're painting, if it's movies, whatever it is, art is powerful, and art does have the ability to change mindsets. So thank you for doing that. I think you said something that's really profound, right? Bullying that happens, right, to members. I mean, even from adults to younger kids who come from maybe diverse backgrounds. And I think something that's inspiring about what you did is sometimes it's very easy to feel overwhelmed or feel really powerless in a situation, right? To feel like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll just pray for the mom, or I'll just pray for the child, or maybe I'll just send a message and then that's it. But there was something that made you feel like, what can I do, right? What can I do to help? And now, and if you could speak on that a little bit, because I know that there are people that might watch this, that might hear or see things on TV and hear racist comments, and they feel bad about it, but they don't know what to do or how to help. And if you could speak about how would you encourage someone to be helpful, to be ally if they were to see something like that happen, even either if you're a student in school and you see that happen to someone, or as an adult and you see that happen. I don't know if you could speak on that a little.
So if someone saw something, if they're a student, they always can, tell the teacher, and the teacher could help or talk to their friend and tell them, they need to stand up for themselves because he can help. He absolutely can tell them stop, and he can do that. But also, you want the other person to learn how to stand up for themselves. And that's why he can also talk to them privately and tell them, you need to stand up for yourself. Or he can talk to the teacher and the teacher can talk to the kid. That's one thing. For as a parent, absolutely you need to interfere to help, it just it's our human nature to not, see someone in pain and just, just walk it the other way. Just try in a polite way, in a nice way to say stop. This is not right. Don't look at the other way and just walk. Just say stop. Because the other person, he will continue doing it because there is no one telling him to stop. He doesn't know that this is not okay. Not everyone know that's not okay. Some people think it's okay because the other person is just quiet and just taking it.
Mm,
So just say, stop. You need to stop. This is not right. And most of the time they will stop.
mm. I like that. So don't just be a bystander. There's something we can do to really prevent this from happening. And again, this is not just even happening in Pittsburgh. It's unfortunate that you're seeing this happen throughout the country. And again, we could play a role as a community to stop those instances from happening. Um, so yeah, thank you so much, Ebtehal. And I think, you know why this I feel is really incredible in your story, even though I brought you on again to really just talk about the art you're doing, there is so much more to this because I'm seeing purpose. I'm seeing the power of what it is when you work in the purpose that you were called to do, right? Again, you went to school, you got a great bachelor's degree, you got a great master's degree, something that you felt like, you had to do. This is something separate, a passion from fifth grade,
Yes.
right? That you had that has opened so much doors, right? And you love it because this is something that you feel like you're called to do, right? And I think it's just such an encouragement for us and people watching that it's great, that we get to do good work every single day. But wow, like, are we working in our purpose, right? Are you pursuing something that your heart is calling on you to do? And you're an example of what it is to do that, right? And for doors to open, opportunities to open because you're doing something that is meaningful and relevant at this time. So wow, that's incredible. If people were to knock on your door and say, hey, do you do things private? Again, you could do it for schools. If people wanted it for their businesses, are you open to that? Like, for other opportunities?
Yes, I'm absolutely open for, customized painting, whatever they want, I can paint it.
That's awesome. And maybe with that, Abtal, if you could share, what are ways that do you have a website where people could go on and see some of the work that you've done across different schools, or, your email address where people could contact you, or social media that you want to share?
Yes, I do. I have my Instagram page. It's called Ebtehal, Ebtehal .Badawi 82 at Instagram.com. And I have my email. They can also send me an email. It's also Ebtehal.Badawi @hotmail.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ebtehal. I mean, before I let you go, is there anything that you want to say? Anything that I didn't ask? Any last minute things you want to say to folks watching and listening?
Yes, last thing I want to say that in June 10, I was at the market square with Pittsburgh Welcoming Neighbors, and I had so much fun because I didn't just display my artwork. I draw Pittsburgh builds bridges, and I asked people who are in the festival to come and paint it. Help me paint this drawing, and each person who come and paint, I tell them about the wall. I'm trying to find this wall to paint it as a mural. If I find the wall, will you join me and paint?
Mm,
154 people signed their email,
wow.
and almost total of 200. And there's some people are not even from Pittsburgh, just visiting, from different states. And it was so powerful, and amazing how to see, different kids, different, people in the community joining and painting. And I tell them, we are here together to build stronger community, to build bridges. And I shared the story, and I had so much fun. So thank you so much for doing this event.
Of course. Thank you. And for those who might not be familiar with what Ebtehal is saying, we launched World Square in 2019, and it's in partnership with Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership. Again, welcome in Pittsburgh, Alpha, Global Switchboard, University of Pittsburgh, PhDC, so many great partners, Global Warsmith, Hello Neighbors, so many different partners came together and figured that we wanted to celebrate the global diversity in the region. So 2019 was the first year. We did something even bigger this year, in which Ebtehal was one of the vendors, and we're hoping that's more to come each year, right? And again, this is just again such a great example of impact and what we hope to achieve in a World Square. So Ebtehal, thank you for coming, for showing up. I mean, so many great things has happened since then, which I'm excited. So I just realized I have one last question for you before you actually go. Is, do you consider Pittsburgh or our region a welcoming place? And again, please, I hope you'll answer freely. And what is it that you will want to see change or improve upon?
So for me, I live here almost 7 years. For me personally, I feel welcome. I feel like, each place I go, it's welcoming, but it could, like there is some areas, in the suburb, like, they don't have a lot of diverse. So maybe when like these kind of events happen, so, it's a chance for people to know each other, because a lot of people are afraid from something different. But when we try to build these bridges between us, they will open up their heart to know their neighbor.
Mm, I like that. I like that. How do we provide opportunities in regions where they're not exposed to diverse folks for this conversation? That's great. You actually reminded me of someone else that I might need to interview and bring on. um, they're really great and they're working on achieving this. So for those watching, stay tuned. That's going to be another guest that we bring on to talk about this work. So again, thank you so much, Ebtehal Badawi. It was a pleasure having you on. We look forward to keeping in touch and seeing the great work that you do, and then painting that mural with the sports teams and with 154 people, 55 people that signed up, and hopefully that it will be something that will catch on across the nation and people will be inspired to do. So again, thank you for being
You're
here.
so welcome. Thank you so much, Faya, for inviting me here. And it was truly an honor to be here and share with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.